He sells body lotion and hand-painted rocks to make money for his family.
Sells body lotion and hand-painted rocks to make money for his family? Excellent. So Santine Brown is actually an individual called Farrah Gray. He started a business club at age 8 and then built it and raised over $12,000 and ended up selling it at the age of 14 for $1.5 million. So pretty fascinating. Would you have ever been able to get that from his profile?
Is he the kid that did man candles?
Man candles? I don't think so. Far Out Foods is what he did. Far Out Foods. He was the youngest African-American businessman to become a millionaire.
When
All
I
right,
did the entrepreneurship with all that.
Bill Riddell. Who's got Bill Riddell? You got Bill Riddell. Tell me one thing about Bill Riddell.
He is interested in mechanics and likes to build things so much that he did an experiment and that caused a fire and it burned down his father's barn.
Oh, so he's probably in big trouble, right? So Bill Riddell was actually Thomas Edison. And one of my favorite stories about Thomas Edison is one that I just read recently where when he was younger, he didn't go to school because he came home with a note from his teacher and he said, my teacher says I have to give this to my mother. His mother opened it up and said, it says that my son, Thomas, is too brilliant for school. We don't have teachers that can teach him. You need to teach him at home now. So she taught him at home. Years after she died, Thomas Edison was going through all the paperwork in her house and found a note from his teacher, opened it up and read it, and it said, your son is adult, which means mentally incompetent. Please do not send him to school anymore. But yet, his mom read the note with a different tone, and he's gone on to do amazing things, which you and I both know. Yet, had he been confronted with that roadblock at that time, it may not have happened. So one of the things I always seek to be, that I'm sure most teachers always seek to be, is that shining star for that student. Give them the opportunity. Give them the chance to show, what they can do, because the possibilities are limitless, really. So what about Jonathan Stewart? Who's got Jonathan Stewart? Can you tell us one thing about Jonathan Stewart?
He wants to be a doctor.
He wants to be a doctor. Okay? Jonathan Stewart actually grew up to be Ben Carson, who's the famous neurosurgeon. Actually, now he's running for president, amazingly enough. But he did some phenomenal things. He had a whole big innovative surgery. Gifted Hands. If you've ever read that book, it's a phenomenal book. I think Cuba Gooding Jr. was in the movie. Very interesting. Maria Sklodowska. Who had Maria Sklodowska? What could you tell us about Maria Sklodowska?
Loved to read and wanted to be involved in education at the highest level.
Who do you think that was?
I don't know, I was thinking about it.
Marie Curie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is interesting because her profile doesn't necessarily jump out at the sciences, but it's you never know. Sam Eder. Who had Sam Eder? You guys did? What can you tell us about Sam Eder?
He is musical, plays piano and violin.
Musical, played piano and violin. Do you know who he was? Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein actually didn't speak until he was 4 years old. They thought that he was mentally incompetent. In fact, his IQ score is very low. They assume that it's probably around the 80s or 90s, which is definitely below average. If you use the bell curve, average would be 100. So he's definitely below average, but he's accomplished great things based in his area of passion and his area of expertise. So, fascinating story. Elaine Hawkins.
We do.
You got her. What do you think about Elaine Hawkins? What can you tell us?
She is a child from a single mom. She is a tough kid. She's had a rough growing up, but she's very passionate about dance. That's what she wants to do. Where she's not willing to be flexible at school, it seems. She's very willing to be flexible with her dance style, and she wants to teach other kids. She wants others to do it with her. She wants to share that.
So that's Isadora Duncan, who is an eminent dancer. She was very unconventional. Very often she danced, in a big, long, flowy top and no shoes. I mean, she kind of blew the lid off of modern dance. By the time she was 20, she was already internationally recognized as being one of the top dancers in the world. So it's fascinating because, like you said, she's not flexible in school, but with her dancing,
She's very flexible with that.
Yeah. What about Jefferson Snodgrass? How would you guys?
We had him. So he dropped out after 5th grade. He says his father passed away and he hasn't been to school since, but he loves writing. He wants to be a writer and publisher.
Okay, so that is Mark Twain, who dropped out of school in 5th grade, but yet went on to receive many honorary master's degrees and PhDs as well, based on what he'd accomplished. That's pretty impressive. Joanne Volin. Anybody have Joanne Bullen? You did? What can you tell us about her?
She's British. She enjoys writing fantasy novels and fantasy stories and novels, and reads them to her sister. I think it's J.K. Rowling.
It is J.K. Rowling. Exactly who she is.
Yes.
Yeah, she had a really young childhood as well. What about Albert Wright? What can you tell us about Albert Wright?
High school dropout, large for his age, talks about that he had congenital abnormality in his eye and had Marfan syndrome, had very strong political beliefs. Everything says he's basically plain more than anything, right?
Does everybody know what Marfan's is? They have very, very long limbs, very long fingers.
Is
that you?
It is.
Yeah.
The Marfans. All right. So, just a quick example of, the picture that you get of a student is clearly not all that they have to offer. I'm going to leave you with one story, and it's the old Warwick story. It's one of my favorites. So there is a gentleman driving down an old deserted rural road. No houses, no cars, nothing around him. And he's looking at his map trying to figure out where he goes, when all of a sudden, boom, his car goes into a ditch. And he can't get his truck out of the ditch. No matter what he does, it's reverse forward, can't get it out. He steps outside and he sees an old farmer in the field with an old decrepit donkey, Warwick. And the farmer comes over and says, "Do you need some help?" The guy's like, "Yeah, my truck's stuck, I don't know what to do, I can't call anybody, there's no one around." And the farmer goes, "No problem, old Warwick will get you out." I'm like, "No way." "All right, sure. Old Warwick will get me out, no problem." So the farmer hitches old Warwick to the truck, and he stands back and he says, "All right, here we go, boys. Go, Jack, go, pull. Pull, Jeffrey, pull, Sam, pull, Chris, pull, Warwick, go, go, go." And slowly but surely, Warwick starts moving. He goes, "Ah, you got it, Jeff, you got it, Warwick, you got it, Joe, you got it, Bob, let's go, go, go." And Warwick pulls that truck right out of the ditch. And the gentleman is amazed. He says, how does this old donkey do that?" He says, "Oh, Warwick's blind. As long as he thinks there's other people working with him, he'll give it his all and do all he can." And that's kind of the moral of, Gifted Ed here is, you're not by yourself. This is a whole big support system. We're all here to work together. I'm here to work with you. Dan's here to work with you. You're not a lone soldier. If you're working on a team, we can accomplish really great things, and that's what I can't wait to see, what Millstone's becoming. It's already changed so much since I've been here. I can't wait to see all the amazing things that you guys are doing, because it's awesome. But that's it. That's all I got for you today. But email me, call me, anything. It's not 5 o'clock, but it's 5.